show.
Rock and roll's a definitive crazy person.
What's the future of mankind? How do I know I got left behind?
Ozzy Osbourne, who is known for biting the heads off of bats.
Hey, he's twisted, but he's all right, man.
There's another scientific mystery that's stumping scientists. How is Ozzy Osbourne still alive after decades of drugs and alcohol?
Everyone goes through changes, looking to find the truth. Don't look at me for answers, don't ask me, I don't know.
What was that?
That's cool.
The what?
This is unbelievable.
Well, we made it, Bill.
Good to see him, son. Good to see him. It's good to see him. We fucking made it, son. I never thought that, yeah.
You look great.
I do.
You look great.
Smile. Come on. Ozzy, smile, it's your birthday. It's your family.
I don't feel like fucking smiling. Shut the fuck up.
Go on, smile, it's your birthday. There we go.
Well, Sharon. Come on.
It's hard work being 60. Looking back, I should have died 1,000 times, but I never did. I never thought I'd make it to fucking 40. Because by 12 o'clock in the old days, I'd have powder up my nose, fucking shit in my veins and all kinds of stuff.
Right, 1, 2, 3. Nice smile, ladies. Come with your brother.
There's like 1 or 2 ways to get in this world, but there's so many fucked up ways to go out. Once you're dead, you're gone. And I'm just a very fortunate man to be still here talking to you about my life.
1, 2, 3. Lewis, smile.
I'm smiling.
I've had a crazy life. And it ain't over yet.
I was born John Michael Osbourne, December 3rd, 1948. I was raised in Aston. a working-class suburb of Birmingham, England. A lot of the city was destroyed by the Germans in World War II. I used to play on a bum building site thinking it was the name of a place that you go and play, not realising it was a building that had been bombed in the war, you know. It's my grandma, my mother, and Gillian, my sister. My three sisters, my sister Jean, my sister Iris, and my sister Gillian.
We're a working class family. There wasn't a lot of money about. We lived in a small terraced house. 6 children had to share the same bedroom. Because we were the poor kids of the street. There's no doubt about it.
I didn't come from fucking royalty. I didn't come from a middle class or upper class background. Where I came from was like a very bottom end of the scale, you know.
We were all from the same area in Birmingham in England. It's very much a working class area. I don't think any of us had like hot water or indoor toilets or things like that.
My mother and father. He was a good guy. He was, you know, he worked hard all his life, you know. Would never miss a day from work. If he ever missed a day off, you knew he was fucking. He used to work nights at a factory.
John used to go out and have a drink, get in fights, and that was it. From what I saw of John, he was always in and out of trouble. You know, Dad was always telling him off. And one day, Dad says he'll either get killed or, he'll die one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Man, a lot of the kids turned to crime, and I did for a time, but I wasn't really good at it, you know. I didn't want to do it, really. Huh. John Michael Osbourne, age 18, break and enter to the shop of Clara Sharp and steal the 2 coats, 20 pairs of stockings, fine 20 quid.
It's a long story short, the police come round, says to Mr. Osbourne, does John Osbourne live here? And our dad says, there he is, take him.
I got locked up in Winston Green prison for about 6 weeks. When I eventually got out of prison, life still felt hopeless for me. I'd let my family down for being arrested. I had no idea what I wanted to do.
Really, there were about 3 or 4 choices when we were teenagers. One was we would either probably go to prison or go in the factories or go in the army.
I remember being in a factory and one guy, I'd say to him, how long have you been working here? And he'd go, oh, 35 years this year and I'm retiring and I get a gold watch. And I thought, fucking gold watch? 35 years of your life has been in this fucking factory. And I just couldn't handle it, you know. I had job after job after job. I could never hold the job down, I didn't want to. I couldn't. I used to think, fuck this. It's just me for the rest of my life.
John wanted things which he couldn't have. There was something inside him that wanted to get out.
Nothing really happened to me in my life until the Beatles happened. Then it was like someone had turned the world on for me. And I played She Loves You on the radio, and I remember thinking to myself, fucking hell, this is incredible. From that moment on, when I first said She Loves You, I knew I wanted to be a rock star for the rest of my life.
adrenaline from the gig. I know Sharon knew that. Just tell her the gig was phenomenal. I mean, the crowd is fucking unbelievable. It's fucking undescribable. It's like a divine experience, you know. All right, I'll call back. I'll speak to you later. Bye. I'm lucky. I'm 60 years of age. I'm still traveling all over the world. I'm still having gigs, doing gigs, and people still want to see me.
Ozzy! 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 Ozzy!
It's Ozzy night, man. It's Night of the Living Dead.
I've fucking listening to him since I was 9, 10. Yeah, man. I got those ones. I got that one. And I got that one. A big Black Sabbath cross on my leg.
#1 Ozzy fan. And since Black Sabbath days, check this out. Fucking love him, man.
Right here, just this wall. Bend down, stretch down.
Dave.
I remember when I was a fan of the Beatles, and I had my fantasies. And if it's going to make somebody's day a little bit better to say, wow, I met Ozzy Osbourne today, I mean, that's my job, you know.
Can you get this, please?
Sure.
Just right down there. On the wall.
Sharon goes to me, you get back there and sign that fucking autograph. I go, what do you mean, my darling? And she says, well, one day you're going to be, if they don't ask you for your autograph, that's when we got a problem.
Let's check out my shirt. And I figure you can't fuck it up no more than President Bush. I have something for you. Here's your own.
Thank you. I'll go down the road, and if I get recognised, I get pissed off, but at the same time, if I don't get recognised, I get pissed off. People recognise me for a lot of years and for a lot of different reasons. And I just want my audience to know that I have not abandoned to become the weatherman.
What are many signatures you've signed?
I put in when I do croak, I'll give mine fucking free with fucking tampons or something.
Gathered in their masses, just like witches at black masses. In the field of bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning. Evil minds of blood destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. Say where you go, to the war beats people know. Oh Lord, yeah.
Sabbath was monumental, a huge influence on Metallica.
Black Sabbath was a big deal for me. Man, we worshiped those records.
They were like pioneers on so many levels, you know, doing new things with rhythm and doing new things with musical interaction.
I mean, listening to it now, it doesn't sound that crazy at all, you know, but then it was quite sort of off the wall.
My very first memory of Black Sabbath, I just remember hearing I was like, oh my God, this is insane.
Thank you very much.
Before Black Sabbath, I was in a band with Tony Iommi and Geezer. What was next needed really was a singer.
So we went to this music shop in Birmingham where all the musicians used to hang out.
Ozzy had put this little calling card in a music shop called Jones and Crossland, and he'd written, Ozzy Zig needs a gig.
First time I ever met Ozzy was at school. He was like, for want of a better word, a nuisance. And so when Bill and I walked up to Ozzy's door, I saw him in the back room walking in. And I said to Bill, forget it. I just thought, this is going to be a joke.
Ozzy wrote the magic words, has his own PA, because nobody could afford PAs back then. If he sang and had a PA, he got the job. We didn't even have to hear him.
Although money was very scarce in the household, I asked my father to buy me a PA system. It was the best gift I ever had, because had he not got that PA for me, I don't think I'd ever got a gig, you know.
The first time we got together, went down great, and no, it was good.
In the early days, it was just fucking guys having a blast, you know. You know, if we'd never have made anything of ourselves, it was a good time for me just to be around a bunch of guys with fuck all to lose and everything to gain. It was great. We used to rehearse across the street from a movie theatre, and I think it was Tony who said, isn't that weird that people go to film movies to get scary? Why don't we start doing scary music?
What is this that stands before me? Figure in black, which points at me.
And that's how the beginnings of Sabbath started.
And when we used to play that song live in the early days, kids would just fucking scream and run out.
People running 'cause they're scared.
And we started getting invites to fucking black masses and fucking Highgate fucking cemetery at fucking 12 o'clock. And we were like, is this for real, you know? We never thought it was real.
In life, we know about the dark side and the light side, the good side and the bad side. And I think that's probably the attraction, is that it hadn't been dealt with till the Black Sabbath started dealing with it. Then people go, oh yeah, this is great, you know, well, cool. It's like the attraction of Dracula and vampires. It's a rich source for exploration, I would think.
What happened with Sabbath? For instance, Black Sabbath 1, the first album, we recorded that in 12 hours, believe it or not. The whole thing was done in 12 hours on an 8-track machine in a little backstreet studio in London. It cost like $10 to make or something. It was one of the biggest selling albums I ever did.
And the manager comes up to me and he goes, your album's going in the chart next week at number 17. I says, fuck off, you're joking, you're winding me up. No. When I got my first record royalty advance in money, I got £105, which is about $220. I went and bought myself some shoes and some socks, some patent trousers, and a bottle of Brut cologne. Which I like to smell. I always like to smell nice. I used to stink. Coming along from having nothing, literally fucking zero, no socks on my feet, walking around in fucking open sandals in the winter. That's from that to a pair of fucking socks and shoes. It's big time, you know. Then the next one, Paranoid, comes out. The song Paranoid went up the English charts. The album went straight at #1 in England. It was like, fucking hell, what's up? That was our second album. We got a #1 album. He's like, fuck, you know, man. The real rock star vibe, you know, hit us. This is the first one I ever got. Gold is from, it's fucking, spelt my name, O-S-S-I-E, which is fucking great. But those early days were fucking fantastic. We all had a laugh, we'd fuck around, we'd fucking smoke dope, drink beer, you know.
Going around with him was a total adventure. We never knew what was going to happen.
Ozzy would often walk into a room naked.
In the early days, he was absolute bedlam.
Me and Oz were kind of like a wrecking crew in the hotel room, so we'd dismantle the bathroom completely, just have big sledgehammers and toilet sink, all gone, put it outside, everything goes outside.
I remember I got a picture early on of him setting fire to Bill Ward's beard. And Ozzy would be laughing and Bill would just sit there.
Growing up, Ozzy was a real prankster, but especially in his 20s with Sabbath, he was like the band clown. He was like, got everyone going, laughing. He did that because that was his shield. That protected his insecurities. Ozzy had low self-worth. He always considered himself less than. That's how, you know, he survived everything, was just being the prankster.
Well, what do you do to relax?
Smoke marijuana.
You were joking when you said that, of course.
Yeah, right.
With the success of the albums came more money, which enabled us to buy a better class of drug, basically, which is basically what we were all doing it for at the time. Cocaine and acid and stuff like that.
This is a good old cocaine shot. We're all fucked up on this. If you look at the face, when you do cocaine, you just lose all expression in your face. You know.
We did the album Volume 4, and we'd been in Los Angeles recording that for about 3 months. We used to have it in cereal boxes of cocaine delivered to the house. We just tip it into this big bowl and sort of a bit like Scarface kind of thing.
For a while, we used LSD before we played, and so we would go on stage, you know, tripping.
I was young, I had money, I had cars, I had fucking house. I was fucking king of the world at fucking 23. Shortly after I became successful with Black Sabbath, I met Thelma in a nightclub. Then we got married and we had 2 children, Jessica and Louis.
And this is a picture of my parents.
That was actually at the Hilton Hotel in Las Vegas. Very lovely.
Some lovely ones. Him looking very young and handsome and sultry. These are nice ones. Before we had our house decorated, so this was to be very early 1972. Got a Black Sabbath sticker on the telephone. My recollection from my childhood with Dad is that he'd be away for very long periods of time, and there would always be a period of adjustment when he came home, and then it would get to normality, and then he'd go again. So it was very erratic childhood with Dad.
This is Dad. Dad got into the local newspaper for the prize green beans that he'd grown.
That's a nice picture of the house and of our vegetable garden. He was always a very big social drinker, so the pubs in the villages where we all grew up were a very big part of the social scene, so he would go to the pub.
The only thing in English countryside really at that back then was pubs. So I'd go, oh, there's a pub there, the house is just down the road. I haven't got a driving license. If I wanted to, I can walk to the pub and back. My idea of going for a drink was to go to a pub, get as much poured down my neck as I could, and stumble out. That was my idea of a drink.
When he was around and he wasn't pissed, he was a great father. But, you know, that was kind of seldom, really. I just have a lot of memories of him being drunk. Fucking just random shit. You know, fucking driving cars across fields and crashing them in the middle of the night and stuff like that. It's just... it's not good for family life, really, you know.
When you drink alcohol and someone goes, Dad, help me do this math, you go, what the fuck are you even bothering me for? You know, it just gets a big ugly scene, but that's the way your life becomes.
I don't remember being put to bed or bathed or that kind of thing by Dad. I wouldn't say he was there for us, no. Never on a sports day, a school trip, a parents' evening. He wasn't like that, no.
It just pissed me off that Dad never remembered my birthday. Just a fucking phone call, just say happy birthday, Lou. You know, just make me happy. That's all I wanted, but he just, you know, couldn't remember that.
When was Jessica born?
Sorry?
When was Jess born?
I think it was 71, 72. Before, maybe before, I don't really know. I can find out for you.
Do you think he was a good parent?
No.
I did the best I could in the situation at home. I was fucking 22, and I had people knew who I was. I could drive the fucking Mercedes, fly on Concorde to New York, fucking first class thing, stay at a nice hotel. You know, I mean, I was a rock star. You know, when you become a successful rock star, they don't give you a handbook and say, you should learn these rules, this is what you got to stick by. It's the fucking world, you know. You're young, you got money, you're successful, chicks want to be seen with you. You know, it's what more can you say, you know? My lungs have, I don't know what the fuck it is. I get tight and you know,
It's just probably stress or
no,
anxiety.
I don't know. I'm not anxious. I feel okay.
Well, you've told me before that you get a bit wound up at the gigs.
No, but the last time was great. I mean, I just went on and did it, you know. Yeah. I'm not wound up at all.
Okay there, Ozzy, here we go. Now give me mum, 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 M-U-H-M. Mum, 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 mum. Now we're gonna give it the gee, 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 slightly hooty. And the long one and say, gee, 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 gee. Now Oz, give me a plain old ooh and the same thing. Say, ooh. Okay, you're going to give you a chance to rest for a little bit, and then we'll start again.
I love my job, you know, and I'm very fucking passionate about it. When I can't give it a good show, I'll get pissed off about it, you know. When I can't do my job, I suffer from terminal perfectionism. I'm just going to flip-flop bargain them with suicide delusion. Crazy Train, and leave it as the old set.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to get, if you want
Oh,
to
no,
get the pipes in shape, we can do Fire in the Sky, because it's, that's low for you to sing.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I mean? It's just,
I'll know when I get there, you know, if I can.
Exactly, you know. Yeah, like
But I'm not going to fucking do all this shit. Just gotta,
I mean, we're gonna go over everything. We'll be here till fucking midnight going over all this shit. We got here a little while ago. You just keep going till we get it right, Dad.
All right. Not every night I'm great, and not every night I'm half great. Sometimes I'm terrible. My voice goes out like everybody else's, but the show goes on.
That's what I'm saying. The high keys, that's what I'm saying. Those
If I can't get it to it,
you were singing that in 91. You know what I'm saying?
Fucking, I'm deaf. Next to it, I'll be like a fucking braille, man. Fucking jet lag knocks me about.
Yeah.
Feel good, weak.
I'm so tired, that's why.
I first met Ozzy when Black Sabbath asked if my father was interested in managing them. Black Sabbath was a phenomenon. It just instantly happened. And for guys that just came from a poor background to suddenly money everywhere being thrown at them, they were really out of their comfort zone, those guys. They really were. When you think, you know, they were all so young, terribly young.
Towards the late 70s, we were very high. There was a lot of cocaine. I know I was using cocaine regularly on a daily basis.
I mean, we were doing it every day, like 24 hours a day practically. So I didn't realise the time. All the management was interested was ripping as much money off us as they possibly could.
I mean, Sabbath was royally fucking ripped off. Royally ripped off.
I mean, we didn't know anything about royalties or... I didn't even know you got royalties for writing the music.
Circa about 1976, I produced this report, quite a long report, basically saying how their money, you know, wasn't quite as they thought it was. For example, they all had houses, but they didn't own them.
We had all these million platinum selling albums and everything, and nothing to show for it, no money. We were all out of our brains on dope. So the band was just like, split anyway. It had been broken, really.
Hello, welcome to Top of the Pops, and right now here's a rundown of the brand new Top 30. Right now, Never Say Die, that's the brand new one from Black Sabbath.
The last album I did with Sabbath was Never Say Die. And it was the worst piece of work that I've ever had anything to do with. I'm ashamed of that album. I think it was disgusting.
He puts everything he's got into it, doesn't he? That's Black Sabbath right there. John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John are going straight in at number 23 this week.
When his dad passed away, and it really, 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 really knocked the shit out of him. It nearly destroyed him. We were all devastated. We all loved Jack. It was Jack that had given us the crosses.
This is the original Sabbath clothes. My father made that when he was at work, and then when he come back with it, everyone in the band wanted it, and I made another. Bill Ward wore his right up to relatively recently. I always wanted a man-to-man conversation with my father, but I was too into drugs and alcohol before he died. I miss my father a lot, you know. But you know, I was young. I was riding in the fame game for a long time.
Oz was in absolute turmoil, and he put himself right inside the bottle, you know. He stayed there for a while, and so we got on with trying to make another record.
And we all came over to LA to do the album after Never Say Die. And Ozzy didn't turn up for 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, he just like rolls through the door, smashed out of his head. He'd beaten somebody up on the plane coming over from England, and the customs had arrested him for beating this person up. And by the time we got to the house, he was just like obliterated. And we started like rehearsing, and he just wouldn't sing on anything. That's shit, oh, crap that is. And
Ozzy just wasn't into it. He really wasn't into it then. He was, most of the time he'd be on the couch asleep, you know. I'd done some Quaaludes or whatever it might have been at that time. And he wasn't happy, I don't think. He was doing too much of everything. As we all were, but some people can handle it better than others, and he couldn't handle it.
The conversations began about the possibility of looking at another singer.
And he just didn't want to be there. And we knew it was like either the whole band split or we get somebody else in.
It was me that actually says to him, you know, Oz, we're going to move on. We're going to move on without you. It broke my heart.
We all cried our eyes out for about a week when Ozzy had gone, because I swear to God, if he hadn't have been fired from the band, he'd have been dead like within a month.
It was tough for Ozzy when he first got let go from Sabbath. He had very low self-esteem. He had no confidence whatsoever.
When I got fired from Sabbath, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. I thought, well, you know, I thought it was the end of the dream. You know, I never ever dreamed that I would do it again on my own. I just thought this is it. So what money I had, I just got fucked up and bought drugs and stayed in an apartment for 3 months and got loaded.
You'd go in to Ozzy's room and he'd be curled up on the floor, covered in piss, beer bottles all around him, you know, drug paraphernalia everywhere. And what could be sadder, what could be lower than that? His dignity had well gone.